Difficulty changing your mind is biology, not just ego. Today, we discover why your brain makes admitting you're wrong.
Have you ever noticed how incredibly difficult it is to admit you made a wrong turn, even when the warning signs are staring you right in the face? We like to think we are perfectly logical creatures who update our beliefs when presented with new facts. But in reality, your brain is actively working behind the scenes to protect a comfortable lie over a harsh truth. This stubborn behavior isn't just a character flaw, it's a structural fuel crisis. The human brain accounts for only about 2% of your body mass, but it greedily consumes over 20% of your daily metabolic energy. Your prefrontal cortex is hyper-aware of its limited glucose and glycogen reserves, treats them like precious gold, and will do almost anything to avoid a heavy mental workout. Psychologists look at this through the lens of algorithmic and representational cognitive costs. Tearing down an old belief system and building a brand new mental model requires massive neural rewiring and intensive processing power. To save its precious fuel tank, your brain naturally defaults to the path of least resistance, preferring the cheap preservation of what it already knows. This brings us to Bertram Gawronski's propositional consistency model. When your brain holds a belief like, I am smart, but encounters a conflicting fact like, I just lost money on a bad decision, an algorithmic error occurs. This structural clash creates a state of propositional inconsistency, which feels like a sudden, uncomfortable mental alarm going off. To shut off this alarm, the brain has two choices: completely restructure its core beliefs, or use cheap narrative duct tape to explain the error away. It's metabolically cheaper to say the system was rigged or it was just bad luck than to fundamentally rewrite your own identity. Your brain happily chooses the comfortable lie because it saves massive amounts of physiological energy. This conservation model is the hidden engine driving the classic sunk-cost fallacy. When we pour time, money, or emotional energy into a failing venture, admitting failure means writing off that massive investment as a complete loss. To avoid that painful calculation, your brain tricks you into doubling down, blindly throwing good resources after bad. We weaponize our own cognitive architectures to build defensive shields against reality. We filter out conflicting data, seek out echo chambers that validate our mistakes, and actively ignore plain evidence. It feels like we are defending our pride, but at a deep biological level, we are simply avoiding the metabolic tax of changing our minds. In fact, landmark studies in cognitive science demonstrate that our bodies experience a literal drop in blood glucose levels when we engage in heavy executive control and belief shifting. Doubling down on an error requires almost zero new glucose, while objective self-correction demands an immediate energy payout. Your evolutionary programming will choose survival and energy conservation almost every single time. In fact, landmark studies in cognitive science demonstrate that our bodies experience a literal drop in blood glucose levels when we engage in heavy executive control and belief shifting. Doubling down on an error requires almost zero new glucose, while objective self-correction demands an immediate energy payout. Your evolutionary programming will choose survival and energy conservation almost every single time. Next, you must perform regular, objective reality checks that separate your personal identity from your tactical decisions. Frame your choices as temporary scientific experiments rather than permanent reflections of your core self-worth. When a decision fails, it doesn't mean you are a failure. It simply means the hypothesis was incorrect. Finally, we have to deliberately lower the emotional penalty of admitting an error. Be remarkably kind to yourself when you drop the ball, because self-compassion disarms the brain's defensive survival mechanisms. When you eliminate the fear of looking stupid, you completely remove the evolutionary need to hide behind a comfortable lie.
Admitting you were wrong isn't a sign of mental weakness. It's proof that your psychological operating system is successfully running an update. Start tracking your hidden costs, embrace the discomfort of growth, and give your cognitive system the upgrade it deserves. Hit that subscribe button to join our laboratory for more behavioral breakdowns, and we will see you in the next system update.